Hello!
Hello, AOS fans!
It's the Agents of Deathgorge.
And in this video, we're going to tell you all about the first ever Agents Clash.
Yeah, 100% organised by us, and it's amazing no one died.
Nobody died, everybody arrived.
Yeah.
Only one person got their car locked in a car park.
That was fantastic for all weekend from Saturday night to Monday morning.
Sorry about that. We'll count that as a success, I think.
I think so, yeah. We had a 24-person best of one 5-game tournament.
A sellout, no less.
It was a sellout, yeah. And possibly that leads into maybe next time, if we do another one, which we're thinking of doing in February next year.
Yep.
Maybe we'll try and get 30 into that one.
I reckon we can get 30. We are a little bit limited on space in the old Gamers Guild, which is a lovely local game store here. It's in an old Victorian building, so the rooms are a little bit small. A
little bit.
But it was still, we got all 24 people in over across 2 rooms.
Yep.
Most people, it's only those dirty longboarders that have problems.
Dirty longboarders.
Yeah. But yeah, so hopefully we can expand to 30, and then as we go through the year, we're going to try and do them quarterly. We can expand and expand and expand, and maybe we can get up to sort of 60 people or something. Probably not in the Gamers Guild at that point, but so I have a dream. I have a dream of running an Agents Grand Clash.
That would be fantastic.
That's my dream is. So Nick and John, if you're watching, what do we have to do?
Yeah.
Get an Agents Grand Clash.
Yeah, obviously there will always be tickets for you two gentlemen behind the counter, always reserved. We're just going to go through a little bit on the warbands we saw and the results there, just to break it down a little bit. So there were 24 warbands in total.
Yeah, if you want a kind of more personal overview, I do know that 2 of the attendees have written their own blogs.
Yeah.
And that's John Grant Miniatures and Scops. I can't remember what her. So Laura.
We'll stick it in the comments below.
Blog is called, but we'll put it in the description.
Yeah.
And you can go and check those out. Their own personal. And actually, they both did pretty well.
Yes.
At the tournament.
John Grant came 5th, in fact, with his warband.
Laura was top 8 as well, I think, wasn't she?
Yes, yeah, I think so. And it's quite impressive considering John had never played the deck he built.
No.
He theory crafted it a lot, and he took the Banshees, but he'd never actually played that deck in anger.
Quite impressive.
Yeah.
I think he found one card that didn't work at all, but other than that,
yeah,
it was all pretty good. So the overall winner was a Chaos Warband, which is not surprising because I think you crunched the stats and there were quite a lot of Chaos Warbands.
There were about half, well I say about, there were exactly half of all of them. 12 Warbands were Chaos, 6 of the remainder were Order, and the other 3 were evenly split between Destruction and the other one, Death.
Death. There were no Domitan's Storm Coven, which I was a little bit surprised by.
I was quite thankful for that as well. I was just like, once we got all the names in and we could see what everyone was playing, it was like, oh, there were no Domitans.
Which might suggest people were leaning towards the casual.
Yeah, potentially. Which is the way we do.
Yeah,
definitely.
So that was quite nice. So Axel was our winner.
He was.
One of the younger competitors, but not the youngest.
Not quite the youngest.
We had a 12-year-old playing, which was really nice.
Yeah.
And so it was really good to see them, him and his dad having a great day, hopefully.
Yeah.
But Axel was the winner. He brought Ephraim's Pandemonium, which is a bit like cheating Axel, if we're honest. But no, well done to you, because you went unbeaten on the day.
Absolutely undefeated all the
way
through.
And I did notice you did some dirty longboarding as well, not gonna lie. But
I think he did that several times.
Yeah.
I think most of the longboarding games were from Axel, so...
Okay, so...
your card has been marked.
Yeah, I've got to say, yeah.
I did enjoy watching that sometimes he would be putting his glory down. It just ended up in a pile, some various ways up. It's like, I've got so many glory.
You have some glory, and you have some glory.
I obviously have enough glory to put all the upgrades on, because I just look at the pile I've got going on here. Like,
he scored 81 across the 5 games. Yeah, pretty good average.
Conceded 42, so 2-1 pretty much. It's
nice,
not bad going, and it was actually, I think, one of the best sort of overall differences throughout all of them as well. Obviously he's going to score high because he won, but a lot more of his games were very clear victories, because even in the last game he played in the very final match, it was like 20-10.
Ephraim's are a very strong warband, but not taking anything away from Axel. He obviously piloted them really well. I don't know, do you know what deck he was playing it with? I don't know.
So Axel, do let us know in the comments if you are watching this. It would be nice to know. I didn't manage to get hold of all of the Nemesis decks from that day, but I do know there were quite a few people were still playing Rivals, which again, I quite like to see the fact that people weren't taking it too seriously. Some people were quite happy to just rock up with the Rivals deck and just play some games and have some fun, which is pretty much what we were aiming for.
It was a really nice atmosphere in the room, and I know at least one couple of people found somebody who lived close to them, and now they can play. I didn't realise they lived close, so that's quite nice.
Yeah.
So do come along next time if you can.
It was also nice to see that whilst Chaos were at number 1 spot, they weren't second and third. So second place was Dreepers, Wraith Creepers. So there was a Death's Warband second. Grisels were third, and I was quite surprised to see Grisels doing so well. I think they're quite strong in a few of the metas at the minute, Grisel, because they're so fast.
They're very fast, and there's quite a lot of ping going around, so you can do a quick bit of damage and bing.
Yeah, but you do obviously have to be able to hit with them, which is why they're no good for me.
You don't play them, because they did place high, but they also placed quite low as well.
Yes.
I think so. It is all dice dependent. Although I think one of the Grisels was rivals only. And they probably don't. I don't think their rivals deck is that great.
Well, I mean, I remember the last time I built a Grisel's deck, I think it was like with Tooth and Claw, and I only used like 4 or 5 of the Tooth and Claw cards. So I think they're a clear example of those warbands where they have to synergize their cards, and if you want to take some of their cards, you've got to take a lot of them to make it worthwhile.
So 3 other people went 4 and 1.
Yep.
So they were your Creepers and Grisels and the Gnarl Spirit. Mike Martin, he crushed me with his Gnarl Spirit, I think.
Oh dear.
In another game.
Very painful.
I feel like I've lost to them at one point in the tournament up in Market Harbour.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was doing well. He won. I think he lost in the final, didn't he, Mike?
Yes, he was in the final. It was a chaos off, and he did lose that one in the end.
He did lose that one, so he ended up sticking to 4th, sadly, because of glory differential.
Yeah.
And then with our good friend John, who you've seen playing in the studio before, he was 5th with his Morn Flight and with Force of Frost, interestingly. So he reckons they work pretty well. I'm intrigued by that because they haven't. I have to look at John's deck, but they haven't got the Force of Frost deck. Isn't that great for surge objectives? I know that Lady Hera is pretty strong on their surge objectives, but so they're not. The objective choice isn't great from Force of Frost, especially if you're not using a wizard. Yeah,
because you don't take any of the casting cards that immediately takes down. But I think they've got quite a strong set of cards themselves to choose from. So I think that's pretty much what he was leaning into a lot more.
They are a solid deck. Quite good to see Xandar's Truth Seekers in the top 8 as well.
Yep.
I have real bad luck with those, and I've seen John try and play them, and John's had some success, but not top 8 success.
Yeah, exactly. Not Banshee success.
No.
And they've always felt like they're not quite the greatest warband.
So well done, Aaron, for that.
And then in 8th place was Laura Scops, one of our patrons.
With her thrice-fold Discord.
Yes.
And she lost the first 2 games and was sort of a bit despondent. I don't think she played with them before, had barely played with them. I was thinking that the deck wasn't really working out, but she obviously worked out how to use it as the day went on.
She was saying in her second game how she was up against Skavix, no, not Skavix, the other Skaven warband, Skitshanks.
Oh, yeah.
And her main leader had got killed on like the second activation.
Well, yeah, I was looking around at the beginning of people at the beginning of the games, and I thought they were just a bit behind and hadn't set up yet. And then I realised that he had 2 glory, so like, okay, no, they are playing because it was that fast.
Oh dear.
I guess that's what Skittershanks want to do, isn't it? They assassinate the leader.
But I just loved the fact that going around watching, there was so many different combinations and matches going on. Everybody got to play 5 different opponents, and that was kind of what we were going for with that best of 1 ability.
That's the nice thing about best of 1. It allows you to meet lots of different people and play lots of different warbands. Yeah. And nobody really kind of picked their warband because it was best of 1. You know what I mean? They weren't trying to game the system with best of 1.
Well, maybe Axel was.
Well, maybe.
No, he probably wasn't. And I always think that like the prime example was John in his first game, and he absolutely smashed poor old Martin something like 20-2. It's like if you've got to play best of 3 of that and you know what's coming next, I mean that's just not a pleasant second game, is it?
Shout out to Martin though, because he brought
Garrett Reavers.
Yes.
Fantastic. And there was a game as well with Karenni's Razors versus Garrett Reavers. It was old versus new.
Yeah, and also, I hope you don't mind me saying this, Martin, but he was our oldest competitor, and we actually had 56 years, I think, between the oldest and the youngest competitor.
It was quite a bit, so apologies, Martin, if we have grossly overaged you. But
I'm quite proud of that.
Yeah.
It's quite nice.
And that's pretty much why we do it, That's why we're doing the best of 1s. That's why we're trying to keep it sort of like Nemesis or rival sort of formats, because we want to keep it friendly and we want to build up the community. And that goes to the other point we were going to discuss in this video, which is we are going to start looking at creating a maybe once a month little meetup at the Red Hill Gamers Guild.
Yes, so it'll probably be on the 3rd Tuesday of the month. starting in January, but we'll put more details and things on our Facebook page as and when it's all set up. It'll be like a pay as you go kind of thing.
Pay display.
Turn up, pay a $5.
Yeah.
Pay a display. Don't
get your car locked up overnight.
Don't get in the wrong car park. Yeah, so we're really looking forward to that, and that'll be really fun to meet some other people. Hopefully, I know a few people travel quite a long way, so not everybody will be able to come, but as many of you can come to the local area.
Axel's dad dropped him down. I think they were about an hour's drive away, so that's probably a bit far for them. But
yeah, it'll be really good to get some regular games in.
Yeah.
And then meet some people, and sort of, because we only play each other, so it'd be quite nice to actually have the opportunity to play.
That was the one thing I found. I don't know about you. I found like when you do a regular tournament, it can be quite crushing on the brain. The old cranium takes a pounding. By the end of the day, I'm quite tired. But by that one, obviously by the third or so game, because things were just going so smoothly, people got on with their games quick. We announced the pairings. Everyone just shot off in the various directions and just started playing their games. We just found a lot of our time was just like,
we could have a sleep.
Yeah, we could have a little kip. Should have taken a book really or something like that. And I do wonder about in the future whether we try and do any kind of coverage of the event, any kind of live coverage. So do let us know if you'd be interested in seeing that kind of stuff.
It'll be kind of fun. I can see why there might be some issues. I think we'll be able to, certainly at the Gamers Guild we wouldn't be able to do live coverage. But
yes, that would be tricky.
We could record the games and maybe commentate on them afterwards.
Yeah, that might be something that we could do. So let us know if you're interested in that in the comments down below, because when streaming events, it's all about that internet connection, which isn't the best.
Don't have due to the aforementioned Victorian nature of the building.
Exactly. Yeah. So unless you want to run massive cables halfway across Red Hill to try and
you could do that.
No. So we are going to be putting out more information about that when we get to that point, and if you're around the sort of London, southern London area, or around the southeast region, then maybe come along. And of course we will be putting out more information about the next tournament come February-ish time, sometime in 2024, so do stay tuned for that in the future.
So hope you enjoyed this video. If you did come to the event, thanks very much. It was really great to meet you, and we had a really great time, and I think it was, I would say it was a success. I
think it was a rousing success.
I was quite pleased. I was on a bit of a high for the rest of the weekend.
It was, yeah.
We managed to not screw everything up.
Yeah, I was before that I was feeling a little bit jaded about Underworlds and just general.
Right, yeah.
And after that I was like, no, there's things to do and there's plans to make now. So
it's the first time I've come over a tournament thinking like it was successful and that I'd like to do it again.
Whereas normally it's like, I never want to experience that soul-crushing defeat ever again.
Exactly. Yeah. No soul-crushing defeats when you don't play any games.
Rah! And because everyone turned up, we didn't even need to have our proxy decks as a just in case, but we will do that next time as well.
Absolutely.
Just in case.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. We'll see you soon, somewhere in the Deathgorge.
Bye!